now live. Those guys got fuel. What is going on, everybody? Miguel Rodriguez here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen. It is that time of the night, of the day, that second time of the week, or technically first time of the week, but you know what I mean when I say that.
Well, I don't know, because you say PS2 and you mean PDD, so.
No, I meant what I said. I just wasn't right. I can still say whatever I mean. Doesn't always mean I'm going to be correct. And just like a broken clock or, I don't know, some other thing that doesn't work all the time, you can be right as well. It's fine. I would trust a sundial over your sense of time.
Good.
An indoor sundial that runs off of batteries somehow. Tim, how you doing, brother? I don't even think we need to talk about it this week. Football is dead to me. It doesn't need to be a thing anymore. We just quit all of that. No more league. No more NFL. Throw away your merch. Any jerseys you might have. Any signed footballs. Any tickets that you had autographed because you went with your grandpa to a game back in the day and you had it framed for that memory. No, get rid of all of that. Football's gone. Football's dead to us because the Buccaneers lost and my team lost in fantasy. So this is what it is, guys. I apologize. Apologize for letting you all down. I'm sure you felt that sting. I know I did, but we're all going to move on together and it's going to be okay. Probably because I don't know how my team's going to do this week.
Very interesting. I'm actually on track to win this week. It wasn't looking good. I'll be honest with you guys. So I was at like a 32-68 deficit, and then I turned my phone off. Didn't look at the games because Jalen Hurts was horrible. Ended up not even breaking 15 points. Went back and looked at it, and they completely flip-flopped.
Wow.
So my two receivers and my two running backs all averaged 22 points. So that's fantastic. Some of them were scheduled to get 15 or 14. And my kicker got, I think, 12 points. So it ended up being pretty darn good.
It's interesting because I think I said that football is dead to us this week. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what these kickings and returnings and Jalen winnings and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's all a bunch of clicks and background noise at this point because football sucks. Anyway, my God, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Let me know in the comments what you are smoking, what you are doing, what you are looking forward to at the end of this September. This is the last week of September. It's been a crazy month. It is getting into. Hey, Eduardo, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. It has been building up to what's going to be an incredible October, November, and December. We got a little bit left in this year. Okay, we got that quarter left. I would love to see what you guys have in store for it because as soon as October 1st hits, it all happens so fast.
Excuse me.
You'll definitely die for football. Definitely died. Yeah, I definitely did. I was buried because of all of that. Archie, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. And he is smoking an Alec Bradley Prensado. Excellent call. I haven't had one of those in forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
the same thing.
It's been a minute since I've had Alec Bradley or Alec and Bradley for that matter. No, they both moved over to the Forged portfolio. Yes. So for those who might be a little behind on this news, obviously it's been for what, a year and a half, 2 years now. Yeah. Alec Bradley was bought by Altadis, which then broke into two. General, which broke into two. Conglomerates, I guess.
Two factions.
I think that's the best word.
Of the same coin, if you will.
And one of those just happened to be Forged, which is more for their boutique, very loyal brand followings. And one of those is Alec Bradley. And whenever there's a big switch like that, a lot of times people will say that the quality has shifted. Not always bad, but it is definitely different. And I don't see that yet, at least for Alec Bradley.
No.
I have seen that note happen when things get too large. So when scale of production has to go up way higher than they were expecting. For instance, the Andalusian Bull, which was being produced at a regular pace when it won a number one on Cigar Aficionado. And then even then, it wasn't getting the attention it deserved. A lot of people were skeptical at its number one pick. Mm-hmm. And then once they had a chance to try it.
Yeah, it was Sorry, guys. Of course, I'm gonna go out because I'm talking to or just doing too much sharing. The Andalusian Bull is a perfect example of a cigar that cut the community in half because you had people like me and you who tried it
Loved
and
it.
absolutely fell in love with that cigar upon first light. And you have people looking at it back then when it was about $16 a cigar. Oh, this is way overpriced. That's not good. Why would people buy it? This and that, this and that. And I mean, I thought it was a fantastic cigar, and I always got tons of smoking time out of it, great draws out of it,
Yeah.
great flavors out of it. So I never had an issue with them. I absolutely loved them. Opening the boxes, brand new, fantastic.
Could not agree more. I loved the flavors right off the bat. You're absolutely right with that burn time, by the way. It was like smoking 2 cigars for the price of one. At at the time. At the time, I was thinking that it was like $14 to $16.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit cheaper if you got the box deal. You know, when you buy an entire box,
Right.
usually you get a little bit of break from most places. But unfortunately, they caught on, and that's great for that start, especially for LFD. But once supply starts hitting demand a little hard, prices went up, scarcity increased, and it was a lucky day if we saw a box, let alone we're able to pick one up.
But you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I hadn't seen that happen since with the number one cigars, unless for some reason it was a Cuban cigar.
Not
I
this
have
time,
not
no.
seen that happen since. The price gone up drastically to double what it was when it came out, nor have I seen it run out of supply.
Nowhere near as quickly or as frequently.
Mm-hmm.
But once they come in, they're out the door. Eduardo's on that as well, even though he's dead to me as well, doubling my score. Not cool. It's fine. It's fine, brother. Whatever. Thought we were cool. They say hard to find in his area. Archie says he's a fan. The Bull is a fantastic cigar. Can't find them anywhere. See, look at that. It's hard to find. Lorenzo, good to see you, brother.
If you guys want to see them be able to buy a box at a fantastic price, check out Cigar Heritage Festival in December.
Oh my
in
gosh,
Florida.
yeah.
They were selling the boxes. I forget the price at the time,
Like $90.
but it was extremely discounted. The only caveat or catch was you had to spend $100 at the booth buying other LFD stuff before they allow you to buy a box. And I believe for every $100 you spent, you're able to buy one box at the price it was. And I think it was like $150. I mean, $100. I mean, it was incredibly inexpensive.
I think somewhere in there, yeah, in that middle range. Nothing above 150 though.
No.
And $100 of other LFD stuff plus that. You also got the ashtray with it, I believe.
Right.
Not the it was a super fancy green one. It was the Andalusian Bull ashtray, which is absolutely beautiful. I think you have yours somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Storage, I think, at this point. Just not one willing to put out into the world because the moment something that nice is on a counter, that's when it finds the floor. Yeah. $100 with LFD, no problem. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's even at the discounted price that the other stuff is at too, because everything there is at a discounted price because it's a big outdoor trade show, basically not trade show, but convention type thing. Because everybody that you guys can think of probably has a booth over there, and they're trying to make deals, trying to give away swag, all this, all that. So I mean, even at getting the LFD Bulls at a discounted price. The other stuff you're buying, you're also getting at a discounted price. So I mean, that's why I would suggest if you guys had a chance to go, Cigar Heritage Festival, go. It's a great place to stock up. It doesn't have to be LFD. That's not your thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh no,
go for Gurkha. Go for Fuente. Go for Jason Newman. Oliva,
Foundation was
Foundation,
there. Black Star Line was there.
Star Line. Now, whoever floats your boat, if they're there, you'll get a great deal.
I don't know if they're doing online, Eduardo, though. We tried to last time.
They weren't doing online.
We were supposed to, the website.
But for whatever reason, weren't able to get it going the proper way. So, yeah, all the sales will be there.
Which is one of those moments where, like, hey, if you can be in the area, support it. Sinistro wasn't there last time. I want to say James was thinking about going, but they also had a switch in ownership, or they're doing another heritage. I think there's two happening now, because I know there was another one that's going back to a free form,
right,
and they might still have a VIP section versus how they were doing it with the first changeover.
Real quick, Mac, I saw that you joined us. Do me a favor, brother, if you can, type us a few words at what people can expect at the lit event that takes place next month.
Yeah,
I believe it's on the 13th or 14th.
yeah.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong, and give us some details. Are you guys gonna have a bunch of different cigars there for sale? Is it gonna be focused on one brand? I think there was a drink, not pairing, but a drink sponsor as well. So let us know what the details are for this lit event that I see you guys have just posted recently.
Would love to hear more. Yeah, and looks like they're calling for a strong tropical storm heading towards Cuba and Nicaragua. Absolutely pray that nothing happens to those fields and everyone stays safe out there. Um, Depending on the storm, there's not much you can do about it. Hopefully, everyone's safe though. That's what we can hope for. And yeah, a couple of prayers never hurt. I'm okay with that. Gosh, change my. There we go. Accidentally. There we go. So back to the point I was making earlier, though, real quick too.
Mhm.
Back to LFD and the price point going up. It also fell around a time where prices across the board for everything, staples and luxuries aside, were going up in a big way. So I think the cost of living across the board for where LFD makes their cigars, where the factory, where the farms are, everything had to go up as well. So you saw that price point move over to the consumer, which is what's going to happen. That's how it always works.
Of course, because cigars are a luxury item. They're not a staple or necessity. So as cost of
Technically,
groceries goes up, of course cigars are going to go up.
It just has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very difficult market to not raise your prices, and even just through the small inflation, the should be tiny inflation that happens every year versus what we've been dealing with lately with what was it, like 10% at one year, and then all of a sudden
ridiculous.
All of a sudden it's at 20%, and like, oh, but it went down 3, so you should be happy. I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
Not really. But cigars, for the most part, I think the companies have done the best they can across the board, keeping prices flat as much as they possibly can.
They'll try for as long as they can, but eventually they're going to have to raise their prices. Several companies in the past few years have made media releases where they're having to raise their prices $1 or $2. It's just the cost of doing business. Taxes go up, their shipping goes up.
But not everybody does that route. Like our cousin Oscar, the doctor, the smart one in the family, he lowered prices at that time when things were at the peak of inflation, and not just to toot, a horn that we obviously are very proud of, but also united with the La Galera when prices were going up. They stayed flat or lowered them in some cases, I believe. I'll have to check in on that. Are you going to Cigar Heritage? I don't think so.
It's going to be tight. I don't think we'll be able to make it this year. I think it's a fantastic event. That's why I talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the few events. Oh, now I think, but it's probably like the only event that we go to that's not an industry-only event like PCA or TBE. Big fan. Fell in love with Ybor City. Fell in love with this bar.
Gosh, yeah.
Fell in love with the tobacconist over at the cathedral. That's all I have.
What was his name? Reservoir Bar was wonderful. The scorpions are delicious. Just keep that in mind. It's like, honestly, it's like a 60-40 split on not being able to make it this year.
So much
makes me sad.
Right now, you guys, that it's hard to commit to certain things.
We didn't put out the event for this week, the virtual event, so you can all make it for no reason. There's so much change in the air, and good things, all good things in the long run. But it definitely has to happen.
Right.
And that just means that certain events, at least for 2024, are kind of a non-starter. I would have loved to have gone to Rocky Mountain, and yes, Rocky Mountain Oysters, yes, and the Big Smoke in Vegas, but it's just not going to be in the cards at the moment. I know that's been a year, but this is those moments right now where we can refocus to get those things happening again.
Right.
And that's all we can do. That's all we can do about that. Obviously, TPE and PCA will still be in the cards. Definitely PCA. We will not miss that.
Right.
I will. If I have to hitchhike there and sleep outside of Cigar Outlet, I think they'd give me a cot inside. Raj would be cool about it. I think. Maybe the 8 lounge is dark enough in there I could hide. I think maybe. They do check the corners though, so maybe not. I'll have to look into that. And at the very least, I will get a break from Frankie when I go up to the top of the Legacy Lounge because I know you won't go back up there.
You won't.
Okay, what would it take for you to get? What if there was a box of Andalusian Bulls for free for you for the first Frankie Rodriguez to go to the top?
No. You're good.
What-
California dreamer.
I gotta see this. Right? That's a good point though. Archie, will China, CN ever get into the cigar market? Since they can produce anything lower cost than anyone and sell it lower than anyone, if they will affect other cigar companies.
Well,
That's
the Chinese have already bought, I believe, in its entirety,
Habanos SA.
Habanos SA, which is the cigar manufacturing arm of the Cuban country, or Cuba.
Yeah.
So
All
they're already in the cigar market, the cigar business. They've bought the entire company. So that's Monte Cristo, Chapman,
Since
Boulevard, everybody. They bought it all.
Since they own it, and if they ship it to China, is that now a Chinese product and not a Cuban product? So they could sell it wherever they want?
I don't know how that works. I don't think so. I think it's still a Cuban-made product owned by China.
And you wouldn't be able to get past the
You would not be able
copyright.
to bring it into the U.S. to sell it. No.
I don't think so. Eduardo, yes, it is in New Orleans this year. Gonna be awesome. Looking forward to it.
I think that's because they have to know the country of origin.
Makes sense. Where the tobacco is coming
Right.
from makes sense. Now, if they get into the market themselves, for instance, if there are areas where I'm sure they could grow tobacco in China, I'm sure there's somewhere hot and wet enough where you could probably have a decent crop. And I don't know how true this is, although I've watched quite a few videos where China is notorious for faking products. I'm not trying to talk shit on China as an entire country. I'm sure the people are awesome, but sometimes government just doesn't want to be as cool as you are. We're feeling that sometimes right now. I think there's a lot of great Americans. I'm not so happy with politics, but it is what it is. And honestly, there's also a video. I'm University of YouTube here, like it really means that it's true or not. But there's a video talking about Mexican manufacturing outpacing Chinese manufacturing in cost and labor quality. There are higher knowledgeable workers in Mexico at a more affordable rate in Mexico than there are in China. So you're getting better quality workers for less price. That might just be here in the U.S. because we're right there, so shipping isn't as expensive, so they can cut costs a little bit more there.
Ship Mexicans?
I ship Mexicans everywhere. I take myself everywhere. Boom. I put myself on a ship. That'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's the border's right there. Right. If you want to get manufacturing product across the border, it's much simpler than shipping all the way from China. Just cost of business right there. And I feel that one of the largest markets that anyone wants to be a part of for almost any luxury item is the U.S. We indulge a lot. We have the means to do so. It's not a bad thing.
Well, I mean, you look at the GDP index, and we're number one by a long shot. And then it's China, and then Germany.
Bulgaria, it's number like 2 or 3.
Germany and dang it, I forget who they're tied with. France.
Really?
Germany and France.
France.
And then after those two, if you were divided up by itself, it's California.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, but just the.
Oh, you checked it out? Okay.
Listened to a investment show, and they're talking about how markets are, and even though that the big companies are leaving California, we're still making a shit ton of money.
Well, yeah, I mean that's probably not going to change anytime soon.
Right.
Although agriculture-wise, we fell quite a bit. I think we're like 8th if you were split us up. We used to be 2nd in the world, just California itself, because some products some crops we have here account for 90% of the carrots. I think it's even higher for that. 80 to 90% of the pistachios are Californian, and I think those numbers are dropping pretty readily because of the water shortage and water conservation, which I'm not against, but they're not doing it correctly. Um, they are putting so many stipends and roadblocks on these farmers. It's just ridiculous. It's hard to even fathom why they want to stay in business here. And I appreciate them not leaving right away.
Well, I mean, it's because of the land. I mean, you got land here, you're not gonna want them to leave it.
Yeah, but look at all the orchards that were sold in California, in Ventura alone. Those orange orchards.
I don't think those were bought. I think those were more of
no, it's private houses on them.
No, I know, but I mean, it was sold the government. What is that? Eminent domain?
I don't think it was eminent domain. I think those farmers saw a chance to get money from land development and took it. Because why make maybe the same amount over 40 years, 50 years, when you can make it in one sale and not have to lift a finger, basically? I'm sure.
Those orchards are the only reason that we're American.
Oh, yeah.
Had those orchards not been there, we would have been born in Mexico.
The full family would have been over there.
Yeah.
I don't know about mom's side of the family. Where would they have been? Grandma would be in Italy.
Yeah,
Solano.
In El Paso.
We could be Texan.
So we could be Texan.
Texan Mexican. And I don't like Tex-Mex. I'll tell you right now.
Gross.
Okay. This is the most controversial thing I'll ever say on this show. California has better Mexican food than Mexico. Okay. We have the best tacos here, which means they're the best tacos in the world. You don't believe me? Right here in California, better than in Mexico. We have better tacos than in Mexico.
I don't know.
I don't need any grasshoppers in my tacos.
I don't know, bro.
Which could be delicious though.
I've had some pretty freaking fantastic tacos in Mexico.
You were super drunk too, so don't even. Why? Yeah. You go to Castaic, you find the Roachmobile marked number 3, I think 3 or 5. I don't know why I'm thinking 3 or 5. But I'm pretty positive it's an odd number on there, and I know my odd numbers because I was fighting with my little sister about them earlier, which makes no sense. But it's a story I can't even get into. Right. But that food truck has the best tacos on the planet. Okay, and California oranges are better than Florida oranges.
Yes,
sorry, Donald Duck's orange juice.
Growing them is not the problem, Eduardo. The issue is having to hand pick each one. And now I did it as a kid with my grandparents because that's what they did for work.
Shit's tough.
And I just did it for fun, so I'd go with them, make up $5 here and there, whatever.
I'd buy you snacks.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
And, I'd be there in the morning with my big ass cup of sugar with a splash of coffee and
that much
burritos, and think I'm so cool because I'm here in the morning, like 5 in the mornings, picking oranges.
That much sugar, that much coffee.
And I mean, it's hard work. It's hard work,
It's unbelievable.
But at least on the orchards, I was standing up, not like the poor guys that pick berries that are bent over all day or on their knees all day. That's got to be killer, man.
Yeah, I was lucky enough when I was of age to go work with the grandparents. They were working at the swap meet. So all I was doing was setting up blankets for them. That's all I had to really do. That was easy peasy. And I still got all the coffee I wanted. Maybe why we're short? I don't know.
Archie, I hate to disagree with you, brother. You're a loyal watcher, and we love you, respect you for that. But we've had tacos in Dallas as well. I mean, we go to Dallas basically every May. And
I don't think I did.
You never had a taco?
Not in Dallas.
Little trucks that are by the convention?
I never had them. I think I always went and just grabbed a burger because it was
pizza.
Just cheap and convenient.
Pizza's good. I'll give you guys pizza. You guys have some good pizza.
I would say that the same way New York is snobs about everything, because apparently everything's better in New York.
Nah.
I will be on a little bit of Mexican food snob of California. Because whether you like traditional, greasy, bad for you, and delicious, or you want that Trejo's tacos, fake meat stuff, they do a very good job of it. I'm not a big fan. I'd rather have asada versus soy sada, but they, from what my understanding is, they do it at top quality. So you're going to get the best of both worlds right here. This is what it is. Okay.
I'll tell you though, that this is Nacho Daddy or something, really expensive place in Vegas. They made some damn good.
Oh no, Nacho Daddy's was the one. Well, it was pretty expensive too. But you're talking about the one in Caesars?
Yes.
I forget that. I think it was like Tres Burros or something.
Whatever it was. They made some damn good pork belly tacos.
Those were good.
I mean, they're way overpriced, and they're kind of some of that deconstructed bullshit, but they were still really good. I'll give Vegas those.
Archie's absolutely right too. You can't go to the rich areas. You have to get a little bit more into the I need a duck once in a while because that wasn't a car backfire areas.
Maybe we need to explore Dallas a bit more next time we're out there.
think so. I think it's gonna have to happen sooner or later. Because when we go, it's usually really quick.
I will absolutely give Dallas beef ribs, because the beef ribs we get here don't have nearly as much meat on them as you guys' freaking dinosaur bones. That you
Holy
guys have
crap,
out there.
that was
I
awesome.
mean, Miguel got ordered ribs. He came with one rib, I think. And I think it said that. I mean, like, what the hell, one rib? We're gonna need more than that.
No
buddy.
price on there either. It's a subject to availability. Yeah, market. Yeah, and it was unbelievable. Worth every penny. It was like $40.
That was like in Old Town Fort Worth too.
Great barbecue joint. So I cannot wait to go back to that. And how I know that these other taco places are gonna let me down is because when we went to Arizona with Coleman, James, and they had a buddy that I forget his name, and we looked around for forever. Was it? No, it was Shervin. Yeah, Shervin. Well, it wasn't Coleman. It was Shervin who was showing us around, trying. Oh, you gotta try these tacos here, and we like looked for like.
Is this way? You know, this one, that way.
Over there, and they were okay.
They were right.
Maybe it was just built up in my head, and I was hungry after the hunt, but just tacos. They were not the tacos. Okay.
Not by a long shot. And you figure we're all close to the border. We all should have the same number of good cooks coming in.
I don't know. I really don't. That's a conundrum right there. Especially because technically our border is smaller for California than it is for Texas. You got more space there, I guess. But
they're divided by the river.
And we also have more like concentrated people along ours. If I'm correct, like the cities along the border are more populous or populated. That's just speculation. I have no idea what the per capita of people are per city along the border. I have no idea what I'm talking about at that point.
Nope.
But TJ is dangerous, but an unbelievable melting pot of culture, because not only do you have, native of Mexico and a lot of U.S. citizens that live there now, but you have people coming in from all of South America. So the food itself blends amazingly.
Yep.
And
they have a strip club in TJ that they were promoting on Instagram, like the sponsored ads.
Oh no!
So I was like,
okay,
that's kind of cool. We watch it because it didn't look like a strip club. It looked like a club. Like we go get drinks and party, and had really cool red doors. And it's like, yeah, you park here on the San Diego side of the border, and then you walk over the bridge, and then we pick you up a block away and bring you to the thing. I was like, why don't you just drive? And they like, oh no, you don't want to drive in TJ. I was like, bro, I've been driving in TJ since I got my license.
I don't know. It feels like it's gotten more dangerous. Like when we were kids, it was a lot safer. I would walk around Glass Alley by myself.
Yep.
My buddy Miguel, another Miguel. I'm not saying that I blow glass and I lived there for a while or anything. I'm not that old. But I'd see him every year, every summer, maybe twice a summer. I buy my glass dragons, to the point where he remembered and he made me a glass dragon that said Miguel in it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I just don't think you can do that as much anymore. There are just certain cities that have become
too dangerous.
Just too dangerous. And that's not just saying anything about Mexico. I mean, you can't really walk around parts of Oakland,
right,
or San Francisco and find yourself safe the entire time. You can't do it in Canada and walk around safe everywhere. Pick a country, pick a state. There's places that are just not as safe as others. I could walk around Bakersfield. No one cares. They've ignored me forever. Sweden, most dangerous place to have all the gun. Everyone's got a gun. Oh, it's so dangerous. Oh, must be. Not even a little bit. I guess I take that back. You'd be safe there. From what I understand, the Emirates are pretty safe to walk around. Not exactly, a bastion of freedom, but safe on the ground. That's something. Question mark.
Yeah, Eduardo. San Francisco is no longer the nice family vacation spot that Full House made it look like.
Unfortunately, no. The road is still windy. That one really long one that the world's windiest road. But you're gonna want to book it still, just in case if you're walking there for whatever reason.
I mean, the few times I've been there, just smell like shit and weed, and I'm not a fan of that.
Sometimes shitty weed.
I mean, it did have a really cool bar that we went to, but I don't think that's worth going just for that bar.
There's still plenty of cool establishments and people trying to do their best. There's still plenty of cool businesses and things to see. Just again, be safe. That's all it is, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on. I saw an interesting article for you guys that watch professional wrestling. You remember Miss Elizabeth,
Yeah.
Macho Man's wife?
Yeah.
They were discussing on whether or not she should be in the Hall of Fame.
Wasn't she caught doing some very scandalous things with some of the other talent?
That's how they got know that.
Like, wasn't she like pimping them out or something? Was that her?
I don't think it was her. I think it was Sunny.
Oh, I think you're right.
Uh,
Why wouldn't she do
but
that?
they were discussing whether or not she should be in the Hall of Fame. And I absolutely think she should be. I mean, it's hard to think about the Macho Man in his prime without thinking about her. It's hard to think of the friendship and feud between him and Hulk Hogan, with her coming in the middle, and then them reuniting, and then him kicking her to the curb, and her coming back. Like how big a deal that was.
Interesting.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think she should be.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I think I need to go rewatch some old matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons that I think wrestling really resonates with people, especially a lot of dudes. Play to your audience. I get it.
Sure.
It's kind of like comics. The story arcs make the characters better.
Yeah, I agree with Eduardo. First lady of wrestling, absolutely, 100%.
Interesting. All right.
Like it was one of those clips that you see over and over again, like most emotional wrestling clips or whatever. And I forget her name, but Macho Man had gotten rid of Miss Elizabeth, and he had what was her name? Luna, I think. She had like a mohawk and like lightning bolt looking fake tattoos on her head and stuff, and she was like a more of a gruff lady. And he had lost a match, I believe, and she was like kicking him while he was down, and Miss Elizabeth was in the crowd, and Sherry
Martel.
She comes out of the crowd and like throws her out, and they like reunite, and they show this little kid like crying over it and stuff. It's like,
I thought one of the most emotional moments was when Vince McMahon found out he had another son.
No, Hornswoggle.
It was Hornswoggle. Yeah. It's very emotional moments right there. Father and son reuniting, not even knowing each other.
I think one of the funniest ones. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Was when he runs out to the ring and tears both his quads.
I'm funny for us, not so much for him. I'm assuming the fact that he sat there and tried to continue the storyline of like, oh, I'm so mad about this thing.
So mad I can't stand.
That was intense, and that's another thing. Like people talk about, okay, oh, it's not real. He really tore his quads.
Yeah.
Triple H really tore his pec in the middle of a match and continued as it turned darker and darker purple and expanded across almost his whole chest. What do you call it? Mankind really did tear off part of his ear, and I think continued that match as well.
Dude almost died like 3 times in that
cage match.
Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
With, Undertaker. I mean, how he did not at least break his back falling from the top to the table, and then again getting, I think it was chokeslammed or powerbomb through the cage to the ring, landing on a chair. That was incredible.
It's intense, and it must have been painful. The fact that he was willing to do that, it just goes to show dedication. I don't know if I could do that for almost anything I'm dedicated to.
Yeah.
I'll maybe one table, but not from that height.
No.
That's about what I got. I don't think I would climb to the top of that damn cage. Seems scary. It's very scary. But damn it, where was I at? I had something in my head about that. Nope, I can't even think about it now. I'm just thinking of that damn match. That's those moments that stick with you too. That's why you go back and watch, the next pay-per-view and the one after that and the one after that. Because you're looking for those moments that stick with you. The same way, like I agree, and I don't know if I'm as big a fan as you are, but the moment when AJ Styles came into the WWE, that immediate crowd response, everyone cheering for him, the music hits, and everyone's just excited. Those are moments that live on. Prior to that, he was getting put on fire and stabbed in Japan. Oh yeah, I forgot about Japanese wrestling, and the many times they just try to murder each other and just barely like, oh well, we didn't do it this time, maybe next time. What? Oh, those if you just want like an actual like horror movie, just watch some Japanese wrestling matches from back in the day. I'm still sure they hurt each other plenty. It ain't getting softer. His first book has a picture of him and a list of his injuries. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that dude, the amount of concussions it's just listing them all. And that's the first half of the book because he ran out of pages.
That's all I got for now, Mike.
Yeah, we gotta save a little bit for Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty to talk about then, guys. I promise you that. If you would like to get a hold of that deal, we still have that going. So that is 4 packs for $100 sent your way, and hop on it ASAP so we get it to you, and would love to get those cigars in your hand so you can see what you think of them. If you have not tried them yet, if you have, get a hold of yours. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, Eduardo, thank you so much, brother. He knows what's up, 100%. I won't give it away because that's his business, not yours. But couldn't be more thankful, honestly. Thanks to all of you guys for helping us out, sharing, liking the videos. Tag a buddy whenever you can so they can see what they're missing out on. Do us a favor and also check out the sponsors: Somme Cigars, Artista, Family by Loyalty, Kiki Momo, GTO Cigars, Artisanal del Tobacco, Apostate Cigars, and of course a big shout out to JC Newman and Sinistro for helping us keep this going. And we will see you Thursday.
See you Thursday.
You guys have a good one. We'll post more if there's any more details in the event, virtual event page for Thursday. Yeah.